I was pleasantly surprised when I realized Elgato had sent me an email asking me if I wanted to check out their new capture card. Oh, absolutely! That capture card is the brand new 4K-S, which they just released pretty recently. I'm not gonna lie, this thing is about the same size as my HD60, but for its size, it packs some better features. The 4K-S lets you play at 4K 60, 144p at 120Hz, or 1080p at 240Hz with zero latency. They also advertise lag-free pass-through, letting you enjoy VRR, pass-through in HDR10, but you can only capture it using Windows. It's also supposed to have very little delay on your recording preview, so when you look over to check on your footage, it should match up with your main monitor in real time, with hopefully no noticeable lag. It supports all consoles and PC, but they seem to be marketing especially towards people who have the Nintendo Switch 2. Which makes sense since that is the newest console on the block. And since I got it in my hands, let's test this baby out. The first thing we have to do is install the beta software. It works, but it took me a bit to get everything talking to each other. For some reason, the Elgato wasn't being recognized by the software at first. Again, this is beta software, so I kind of expected some sort of hiccups. A quick PC restart seemed to fix it, and that was the only real hiccup I ran into. I spent a couple of hours recording footage from multiple different games and consoles, and honestly it works just as it's advertised. The only downside is that I can't capture 4K footage because my monitor is just a 1080p Acer, so all of my footage was in 1080p 120Hz. Honestly, I do wish I was able to put out to a higher resolution like you can on a PC so I could capture a higher quality video, but since I was mostly using my consoles, you can't do that sadly. That said, the pass-through works great. No issues at all. I was able to run HDR, which you can't do on the older Elgato models. That's definitely a nice touch. The beta software works really well too. It actually reminds me a lot of the older style Elgato software, which I absolutely like. The new one definitely isn't my favorite. One small complaint I have about the capture card is the 3.5mm jack on it. I kind of think it's pointless. I would prefer some sort of solution actually hook up a microphone to the console, but I guess you could run a 3.5 jack from your headphone port on your microphone to the Elgato, which I think is the purpose of it, but I have not tested this and I really don't have any mics that support that. But if you don't want to plug it into the Elgato, you can always add it into the software through the settings as an external recording device, so this is not a deal breaker. Now, something that stood out to me was the pricing. It comes in at $159 compared to the HD60 X at $179. Both can record up to 4K, allowing 1080p 240Hz pass-through. The key difference is that the 4K-S offers 4K 60 HDR recording and up to 1080p at 140Hz, while the standard HD60 X can only do 1080p 60 HDR or 1080p at 240 pass-through. So for a lower price, you're getting a more feature-rich device. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Elgato starts phasing out the HD60 X soon in favor for the 4K-S Plus, because in hindsight, it's basically the same capture card, but slightly better. And honestly, they could be running the same chipset, but we don't know. I'm not gonna take the time and break open my Elgato in the attempts of figuring this out if it's running the same chipset, because I would like to use this device and hopefully not break it. And honestly, I'm just a bit annoyed. I could have just waited for this thing to come out instead of buying my HD60. Don't get me wrong, the HD60 X works great, but the 4K-S has better features at a lower price. So I could have just saved my money by buying this device. But again, my Elgato HD60, which I bought originally back in like 2014, did start to die, so I really did need a capture card. So at the end of the day, if you're looking for a new capture card that fits your budget, I would 100% recommend picking up the 4K-S Plus. It's a solid capture card offering some great features, and Elgato is a decent brand, and I've never been disappointed with their products. I actually recently just picked up their teleprompter, hopefully I said that right, which works great. I love the features. It has the thing where you can read along the script. So I really do like Elgato's products, and I think they offer a lot for the price, and especially in the capture card market. Elgato offers some really cool features, like the being able to scroll back on your timeline. So I really do think if you're in the market for a capture card, I wouldn't waste your money on the HD60 X, and I would just pick up the 4KS Plus. It's definitely a better capture card. Again, a huge thanks to Elgato for reaching out to me, being able to let me do this review of their capture card. Honestly, it kind of sounds like I'm glazing this thing, but in hindsight, I really like it. I have no complaints, and it's kind of hard to do a review on a capture card because they all work the same and they all work great. So I'm at a loss, dude. I mean, this is my opinion, and I think you should pick it up. But hey, I'm going to wrap up the video here. If you have any thoughts or comments, please leave them below, and you guys have a good one.